All right, we got a lot of news here to talk about today, folks, so we're going to just jump right into it. First of all, we have Magic Rabbit. This is a game, it's coming from Alley Cat Games. Now, Alley Cat Games has been releasing a lot of small games recently. I don't think all of them have been particularly amazing, but I like Magic Rabbit. This is a two-player, is it two-player only?
I never played this one. You played this one because when we first got it, it was in French.
So is it a reprint or just
in English? It's a reprint of a little tiny game from Lumberjack Studio.
Oh, okay.
I really like it. It's a two, I guess it says 2 to 4, but I played it with 2.
Okay.
And you kind of have you're working together to basically switch hats with rabbits, to put the right hat on the right rabbit.
Okay.
And you're watching what the other person does, and you're just trying to work together to get it done.
So it's cooperative.
It's a cooperative style game.
Got it.
It'll be very fun. I like it a lot, actually.
And this is their regular line, right? Not their like advanced line. It sounds like a pretty straightforward game.
It is
like
very straightforward,
game.
yeah.
Okay.
It's tiny.
Cool. That's neat. I like the art. I like the little rabbit
Estimated
up top.
playtime is less than 3 minutes. But then they add more. They add some more stuff to it. You like the art, you said?
I like the little rabbit up top. He's quite nefarious looking.
You know, I always wonder when I see these upside down people that you can put like a grin on people upside down, the invert it, but your eyes don't notice that, and then you try upside down and you notice the rabbit's frowning.
Grin. I said grid. Okay.
Grin, yes. So you could have flipped that grin upside down, and your mind still would have been like, "Oh yeah, he's smiling."
I don't know if I believe that.
Next in the news is it's true. I've seen people do it before. Yeah, there's some weird stuff.
Okay, well, I'm
going
gonna need at least 2 hours today to research that.
Rome in a day. So, what? This is another game coming from Alley Cat Games. This is a cut and choose.
Oh, I love cut and choose games. It's probably my favorite genre.
Why does this say cut and choose? Isn't it?
A cut and choose.
I thought it's split and choose.
No, I'm sure they like literally have you cutting things.
It comes with scissors.
I don't know. So far, there's 2 games that do that. Neither one of them is really that popular because, well, they're quite destructible. Renegade made one, if it was called.
Cut Parks.
And then Hobby World, I think, made the other one.
Slash and Fast.
Now that would be like a really dark game if you had like body parts and it's like cut.
It's a Frankenstein themed game in which you would like it's a cut and choose and electrify and revive
and necromance.
Anyway, I like this cover.
Necromance. I like that.
It's an interesting cover and it definitely is a split type thing. It's
pretty.
Interesting. Yeah.
It's pretty and I don't know anything about it. Yeah.
This next game looks very, very well, mass markety, I guess is the best word. This is from Beziwizard, when they do make a lot of mass market games, called Setup. A tile placement game where you're trying to make runs and sets. I almost brush this off as it is another mass market game. I just saw Rodney Smith watch it play. They had the how to play the video went up for this.
Of this?
Yeah.
Oh, that quick.
Well, he picks and chooses what he does, too, so he has to have seen something. 20 to 25 minutes.
Cool.
You know what this makes me think of? It's like that public domain game where you play the cards to get 5 in a row. What's that called? You have a deck of playing cards and you play it and then you put out a token and you're just trying to get 5 in a row on the board. Sequence. That's what it's called.
Oh.
You never seen that?
No, I just didn't. I've only played Sequence Junior or whatever, so I didn't make the connection to what you were talking about. Yeah.
Speaking of Junior, Reiner Knizia has made a game called Racing Hedgehogs.
Oh, it's so cute.
Oh. Okay. I need to change my list all of a sudden.
That's what I was just thinking. I like Racing Hedgehogs. The look of that one has those 3D pieces though are not as cute as they're saying. I think they are. They look like
3D pieces.
They're in the bottom corner.
I think we need to see them.
They're blocked from your view here. You can look right here. Look.
I think we need to see them sideways. They really is going to depend on.
They look like Play-Doh molds.
Do they have a large? Like, are we seeing their face? I guess.
Yeah, you're seeing front.
Do they have the back? Do they have a little like bloop?
I don't know.
Right, I want that little hunchback with the bloop.
Bloop. So your score for this at the end of the game will be based on the value of the board plus the number of cards left in your hand of that color. So it's one of those games where you play cards to move that color hedgehog, but also you want to keep those cards in your hand
To score that
to
hedgehog.
score that hedgehog at the end.
Oh, the
Interesting.
good Dr. Knizia does it again.
Yeah, like literally, he's doing it again.
He's doing it like again, and it'll come out again in a couple of weeks
But
with
with
a different
hedgehogs
theme.
this time.
Also,
Come
Mike
on.
DeLeese is probably going to buy this.
All right, this next game, I don't know how to say this. I want to say it's called Trepanation.
Yes, you nailed it.
What does that mean? I actually don't know. I don't have this word in my vocabulary.
Trepanation.
I know what trepidation is.
Right.
Trepanation has to do with, I thought it was a musical word.
I'm going to look it up. Trepanation. No, it's trephination.
So is it a play on words, or is there?
I don't believe it's an actual word.
Oh dear.
Trepanation.
It's a treatment used for epidural and subdural hematomas
Oh, okay.
Oh.
and surgical access for certain other neurosurgical procedures,
Oh, I get it, 'cause he has a hacksaw.
such as intracranial pressure monitoring.
Oh, so trepanation is like breaching the skin, maybe?
You're playing fraudulent doctors performing gory medical shows for the gullible public.
Okay.
You know you're in already.
I know, because look, he's a hacksaw. Like,
He is holding indeed a hacksaw.
And you're vying to become the most famous medical performer. I gotta say, I like that.
Oh wait, was this that thing that
Okay,
was
so
that
trepanation
trend?
is drilling a hole in someone's head.
Yeah,
That's
this is. It was like a thing back in the 60s and 70s, right?
Yeah,
'Cause,
release
you
the pressure.
Yeah, to release
Technically,
like
that's
you have like
still
the LSD feeling. Like it was a real like,
They do still need
free
to sometimes
spirit.
like put a hole in people's heads for intracranial
but not like
pressure.
medically. No, I mean like this was like a trend.
Yeah,
kind of
this is
thing.
like bloodletting, something that we've kind of let go. But technically, there's still reasons why somebody needs to have their blood
That's right.
released.
Okay,
Whatever.
lots of people have given us a definition.
Anyway.
Thank
Got
you. We got it. Also, we all have learned something today. Trepanation. I'm going to use this word today somehow. It's my word of the day.
You said it like a bunch
During
of times
Zombicide,
already.
it's gonna happen.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna do some trepanation.
You want some
on
blackjack?
zombies.
How about some trepanation?
All right, this next game I'm a little fascinated by. It's a beautiful cover. That's part of my fascination. It's called Barcelona. And the reason I
What
say
does
this,
Barcelona mean?
this game is interesting to me because it's from Board and Dice, and with all respect to Board and Dice for making very good games, their covers aren't usually this beautiful. Mm-hmm. They do that T line, and that's another thing. This doesn't start with a T.
I know. They could have. It could have been so easy too. Go ahead.
Trepanation?
No, this is Barcelona, but
I don't know what you were looking for there. Tarsalona?
yeah, then it's a T game. I don't know. I don't get how you miss something that obvious.
What are you talking about?
I don't know. I'm still stuck on trepanation.
Anyway, your rule of builders in the 19th century Barcelona adding an expansion onto the city. Shocking theme there. But that's a really cool cover.
Really pretty.
That's
It looks
really
like
neat.
flowers from here.
I thought it was flowers until I looked closer.
Kind of reminds me of like the Wizard of Oz.
There's something fantastical about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. It's like a Stephen King. It looks like the gunslinger type thing a little bit. Anyway.
All right, and a less cool looking cover, we have Pathfinder Elemental Stones.
That's awesome.
Oh.
Do you think that's a cool cover?
There's colors on it.
I think that's a
and
really
words.
cool, rough draft.
Yeah.
It does look not. I agree that it
Concept,
looks
like,
not finished.
This is from Pathfinder. This is their first board game they've made in a decade, they said. The last one they made was a Pathfinder adventure card game in 2013, which they also then made for the next 5 years. So.
Okay. All right. I was gonna say no.
They made a lot of it.
a
Yes.
lot. Yeah.
Anyway, this sounds a little Azulish when you go in there. It's a half-hour game. Has something to do with elemental stones. There's a lot of speculation here in this thing, so I'm just saying this is all we know about. It's coming out October of this year.
Oh, okay. It's like an Essen release or something.
Again, I always think it's weird when you pick one of the
Paizo
most
doesn't go there.
thematic.
Maybe.
When you set your game in a world, one of these most thematic, best researched and developed worlds ever, and then give me an abstract game. I'm like, you're insane. I'm sorry. No.
Yeah.
You don't use Pathfinder or Dungeons and Dragons or like Lord of the Rings and then give me Lord of the Rings tic-tac-toe.
But
The
you know
lower
what?
bench is so deep. There's no need to do this.
It's like a trend nowadays where people are showing, they're like, we're going to show you the game people play in that world.
I get that, but let's be honest. Nobody's playing this in the world of Pathfinder. Because it's not a real thing. I'm all about the lore, Tom. I'm in deep.
He is, yeah.
All right. Here's some lore for you then.
Okay.
No.
Batman?
What?
Why was I doing Batman? Sorry.
Oh.
Spider-Man.
Oh my gosh, you're such a letdown.
All right, so
Goblin?
this is Brains and Brawn. This is the last Marvel, at least for the present time. This is the last one coming for the Marvel Unmatched setup. So we have Doctor Strange, who I still think that picture looks like it's a guy cosplaying as Doctor Strange. She-Hulk and Spider-Man.
Looks like he's doing the Illy sign as well.
The Spider-Man picture looks like it's one of those paper dolls, and they move the arms and legs. You can move them back and forth in different ways.
Yeah.
This is great, though. I'm very excited about this, and these three characters are awesome. I'm glad that they're... I mean, again, this is like a set that has three heavy hitters in it. Well-known.
This will likely be the best-selling set.
Probably.
Oh, I think so.
I mean, Spider-Man alone will sell it. Doctor Strange is no slouch there. She-Hulk is not as popular as the other two, but did just have a TV show. So.
She's also like really just known for the bronze, right? I mean, just their strength. I mean, I feel like heavy-hitting characters.
I think so. I see a few muscles in that picture.
A couple of them, yeah.
Yeah, this is cool. Very cool.
Not the only Unmatched news. I mean, and this is also with the Unmatched Kickstarter going on right now. But Sun's Origin. This has two decks here.
I haven't heard of this.
Oh, you hadn't heard of this one. Okay. I don't want to mispronounce these names, so I won't, but you can see them down here at the bottom of the screen. One of them is a daimyo during the Sengoku period, and the other is a female Onamusha from the late Hein period.
Sengoku?
Sengoku.
I think.
That's why I'm not saying their names.
Anyway, that's really cool. So these are characters, I'm assuming historical figures.
Yes, as far as I can tell, yes.
Okay, very cool.
That's a cool cover.
So it's like a King Arthur kind of thing, but, you know. Or who else have they had that's actually a historical figure? I'm trying to think. They've had real-life people like Bruce Lee's a real person.
Well, maybe someone could tell us. Maybe some of these aren't. Maybe these might be a fantastical character from lore too. We don't know that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Nope, it says two real-life Japanese warriors there. Never mind.
Okay, there we go.
I don't know, I think this is really interesting.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I think this is more interesting than the Marvel one for me.
No, that's insane.
Like, this is cool.
Real history better than Marvel?
I mean,
no,
yes, absolutely. Yes.
No.
100%.
I see a comment from Andreas saying Americans butchering foreign names again. Yeah, that's typically what happens when countries pronounce other countries' names.
Right, yeah.
Most foreigners who meet me slightly mispronounce my name, and I live with it because that's how life works. Sorry, we're not trying to be offensive. So, moving on. All right, Through the Desert. Ooh. One of Reiner Knizia's greatest games is being reprinted from All Play. Now, Through the Desert has had a history. I mean, originally published by Cosmos, and then in America was published by several different companies, including at one point Fantasy Flight published it in a very small box. It usually comes in a Ticket to Ride size box, but that means it can be published in a small box, which is good because that's what All Play is going to do. The artwork's already done. They're working on the camels and stuff. It's going to be their large box titles, just like this one here, basically behind me, which you can't see. So it's this size. I love Through the Desert. It's a great game.
Yeah, that's really cool that this is getting published again, and All Play knows how to make games that look really good. So, and they do some neat deluxe bits. So I'm really curious to see what this is all going to look like when it's all done.
What's the gameplay like in this?
It's a little bit like Go. What you do is on your turn, you put out 2 camels. There's 5 different color camels, and you just make your lines of camels longer. That's all you're doing. But you're trying to make the longest ones. You're trying to cut off other people. You're trying to surround areas. There's also like point tokens all over the board. If you hit a point token, you get it.
Yeah, okay.
And then there's points for the longest of each camel line. So
it's abstract. You're going to hate it.
I was trying to make her like it. Thanks a lot there.
You're going to just
you lost me at Go. And then you're like, oh, you put out camels, and I was back in.
They look like candy.
And then...
They used to, anyway.
Can I eat them?
Yeah, sure.
Well, you can eat anything. Game beast if you want. All right, let's talk about delicious games.
Oh, yes, please.
How's that segue? That worked out well. Thank you, guys. Evacuation. So this is a new game from, Well, Delicious Games, and I believe Vladimir Suchi's involved. Yep, he's the designer of this, so you know this game's going to be super popular. Hurry to the ship. 12 houses from our town have already burned down, so your planet's being burned away due to increasingly intense sunlight. So you're probably wanting to leave. You have 4 rounds to get off the planet. So it's like a very gamery version of Pompeii.
Sci-fi Pompeii.
Interesting.
I like that theme, though. Get to the spaceship.
Get to the chopper. Space chopper. Yeah, that looks cool. It's a neat cover. It's a Vladimir Suchi game, so that means it's going to be incredibly, again, not thematic, but cool.
He's also designing a game. This one's not coming from him, but coming from Dino Toys.
Ooh.
Alderaan Duel. No one is going to ever pronounce this correctly. So we'll show this picture shortly from Dino Games. Alderaan Duel. Anyhow, this is a 1 to 2 player game. It was a COVID project that he did. And since Delicious only makes 1 game a year, this is the game they made. But don't you think people are going to mispronounce that name? They're going to say Alderaan, like Star Wars.
Yeah.
Alderaan. Yeah, it's a mouthful, too.
Alderaan.
Also, that D could be considered an O, and then it's...
Alderaan.
Alderaan Duel, yeah. Again, I like the sci-fi look of it. It's some neat ship, but I don't know. It looks cool. I'm down for a sci-fi game if it feels a little bit like a sci-fi game.
I'm assuming it's a 2-player game.
It's a duel, probably, then, right?
Well, the reason I say that is because it says it's a 1 to 2 player game, but at the bottom, like, it includes a variant for solo play.
Sure.
Then that means it's a 2-player game.
Yeah, most games that put the word duel in the title are for 2.
I like the simplicity of the graphic design on those cards, too. Like, it's all just symbols, and I don't know, it looks like it, I don't know if gameplay's going to be straightforward, but it looks like the cards are pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
And that's refreshing.
I'm more psyched for this than the one we just looked at.
Well, I'm not. I'm more interested in the other one. But
all right, you get that one. I get this one.
All right, the role player universe, which this still cracks me up because the role player universe is essentially D&D. But the Dawn of Ulos. This is a bigger game coming out that's set in this role player universe, cartographers, etc. And it seems, says the person who wrote my text here, like a fantasy-based take on Acquire. You're placing domino landscape tiles on the board each turn on matching landscape to build camps on which you'll place plastic faction markers in particular shapes. When you can fit a faction's plastic marker in a camp, that faction is established there. You get a matching faction card, which gives you a special ability. At the game end, you win favor equal to a faction's strength for each card of its type you hold. It definitely sounds like an economic game thrown into a
fantasy theme here.
I feel like I've seen this before. Wasn't this...
We have a promo for it on our Kickstarter. I think that's where you've seen it.
Okay, it must be.
Oh, we do? Mm-hmm. Got it. Best game I have ever seen in my life.
You know what it reminds me of? It looks a little bit like, what's the...
Macarino game?
Yeah. What's that called?
That he wanted to spiel the jars for?
Yeah.
And you play 1 card per turn?
Yes. And then they made a winter one.
Yes, I know. You're stealing all my stuff. What's that?
Anyway, it looks like that game.
It really does look like that game.
Which one?
Well, someone in chat will tell us shortly. So
yeah, somebody knows what I'm talking about.
It's a game that made a winter version, like Dwarf 7 or something? Or
No, it's a very famous Donald Vaccarino game.
Yeah,
I don't know.
which has slipped both me and Zee's minds.
It has a really generic name, like Kingdoms or whatever. It's not Kingdoms, but it's something generic.
Okay, well, it looks like that game. All right, so I'm waiting for the chat to give me the answer here.
Catch up.
All right.
Mike did say we said this was like Acquire during crowd surfing when it was funding.
Oh, this was on Kickstarter. That's where we've seen it before. Kingdom Builder. That's right, Kingdom Builder. It does look a lot like Kingdom Builder. All right.
It's such a memorable title, Kingdom Builder.
Next, we have another memorable title, Star Wars Rivals.
Ooh.
What?
Wait, hold on. Are these little characters?
They're little. This is from Funko. They're little chibi Star Wars characters.
Okay, for a second I thought these were those plastic cards that you would punch and build 3D, like the 3D ships. Remember those?
Oh, please, no.
Yeah, that needs to stay dead, please. Don't bring that back.
This is a 2-player game. You're going to be light versus dark side of the force. You have each character comes with 3 unique action cards that you'll combine into a single deck. There's also dice rolling, and we don't know a whole lot more about that. There's 12 locations.
So it's like a CCG.
It's an expandable game, yes.
Sure.
Okay, of course.
It's a
you know what it looks like? It looks like that little Marvel game. Was that Battlegrounds, Roy?
Battle World, right?
Marvel Battle World, yeah.
Marvel Battle World. They look like this, too.
It looks like they're cashing in on the same idea.
This will be very popular for 6 months. Get it when it comes out. You'll never see it again after that.
I'm getting it. I'm going all in on Star Wars Rivals.
All right. This is actually not new news, but I wanted to talk about this because I think it's hilarious. In Magic the Gathering, there's the new Lord of the Rings set coming out very soon, actually. And I'm excited about this because I love the Lord of the Rings set. I mean, that setting, that's great. It's going to be really cool. And one of the cards is the One Ring, which makes sense. That should be a card in the game.
Of course, yeah. I want one.
But they have made one Ring card that has the actual elven stuff on it. I know what's about to happen. Anyhow, this card, there's one of in existence. I do not believe they have done this before. And we have it!
What?
We don't have it.
Oh, it's printed.
If we had it, first of all, we'd all be sitting in a limousine because we'd be going to Vegas or something because we would not have it. As far as last I heard, and this was a couple weeks ago, someone told me there's a standing offer of $100,000 to whoever finds it.
That's actually lower than I thought it would be.
Well, I'm sure it's going up.
Oh, okay, I was going to say, I expected a lot more.
This is mind-boggling to me that they did this, right? Because
I also love that it's in a Star Wars
It's hard for me to imagine that they're not going to control this.
Really?
Like, what will they do if the very first pack ever sold this game has it in it? So will it?
No.
You think they'll save it for like later in the print run so people are searching and hiding it? What if someone buys the packets in? People every set that comes out, people buy packs of Magic and set them in their
Have we seen a picture of it? Do we know it's actually printed, or are they like sitting on it?
Alternate art. Like, you can get the same card.
Yeah, it's the same card, right? It's just this. I think it's in Elvish. It's in English, the normal card.
Yeah.
Again, I don't know how much I trust Wizards of the Coast right now.
Also, this is not coming in the normal Lord of the Rings set. It's coming in their.
This will be collector boosters for sure.
Collector boosters.
Yeah, which are like incredibly expensive.
If I was into this would just make me feel preyed on. You know, I'd feel like you're just messing with me. Like you're just trying to it's like a movie that emotionally manipulates you.
If you played
know what I mean?
Magic the Gathering, you would certainly feel preyed on, especially the last few years.
This makes
almost
me so
every
mad.
move that Wizards of the Coast has made in the last few years is to prey on people.
The fact that
I hate this so much.
He just mentioned that Magic has always made booster packs, and you buy them, and there's one rare or ultra rare card in it. But I don't know, was it 2 or 3 years ago? They started these collector booster packs, which have more rare cards in them, but they cost, what, 5 times the amount? It's crazy. And that's what this is in. So you have to buy, a box of packs that this comes in, I already looked it up, is $300.
So it's gambling. It is
gambling. 100% gambling.
Oh, I hate this so very, very much.
Now look, I think Magic Gathering, look, I'm still going to buy the starter decks for this. I think that part's great. To play those starter decks against each other with Lord of the Rings, I think that's going to be very fun. And I don't know why I'm saying might, but I might buy a booster box to open it up and look at the cards. I'm excited about that. But I wouldn't, these expensive cards, I don't like this part of the game. That being said, if you do get this card and sell it and would like to donate part of the Dice Tower, we're all for that. Or send us the card, we'll figure it out. Although I tell you what, if I got this card, I would instantly be like, sell.
Oh, absolutely.
Why would I would not want to keep this? That's crazy.
No.
Yeah, even if it goes up, I don't know. Yeah.
Even if it went for what it's at right now, $100,000.
Look it up.
Shit, I'd take $1,000 for
Magic, the Gathering, One Ring card.
Yeah, that was March 15th. There was a $100,000 standing offer. Magic the Gathering collector Dan Bach issues $100,000 bounty on that.
What are they doing to make sure there's not counterfeit prints of it?
You can apparently they control the quality of the cardboard or something. I don't know. That's a good question. I'm assuming a high enough PDF is not made available anywhere.
Actually, the man who has a standing offer, he offered to pay the person first before he did the 100,000 was 50,000. He offered then to you then throw it in a volcano. See, now you're more interested.
Oh, I like this guy.
Wait, what's he gonna do? He's gonna actually like pay that much and then burn
I
it?
will pay you, yes, the opportunity to destroy the card. That's amazing.
All right, let's go to non-Magic the Gathering news. I'm really excited about this next one. Really excited. Freelancers. This was not on. Was this on anyone's top 10 anticipated games of the year?
I've not heard of it.
I don't think it was announced. This is.
This is the new Plaid Hat. Okay, sorry.
This is the new Plaid Hat.
Wow.
And it's the sequel to. Not
Forgotten
sequel
Waters.
to, but it's like Forgotten Waters.
Yeah. So
and that
excited.
theme, that like a cute post-apocalyptic type thing.
Yeah.
I love that. It's like very adventure timey. How that looks.
This is
I
fun.
want to throw this in a volcano.
Anyway,
That's a compliment.
For $100,000, I'd let you.
this is designed by Donald Schultz. It's called the spiritual successor of Forgotten Waters. It's an app-powered co-op adventure that's going to use a physical book as its board. I love Forgotten Waters. There's lots of different locations, 3 to 7 players. It's going to debut at Gen Con. I am super pumped about this
That
game.
looks great.
Yeah.
That's a great cover.
And it's still 3 to 7 players. Because that is, I want to say, the biggest drawback of the game is it is better at 5 to 7 players. Like, it's a better big group game.
You think so?
Oh, absolutely. But to play with the ghost character, I just don't think you get as rich of an experience. You disagree.
No, I'm trying to think what ghost character in Forgotten Waters.
If you play 2 or 3, you use a ghost character.
I think I played every game with 4.
Oh,
I thought
okay.
4 was a really good number.
Okay, yeah. But again, that's higher. I think I played it 3 a couple times, then I played it 5 and 6 a couple times, and it was much better without that ghost character. So
I like everything about this.
oh, it's so
Looks
exciting.
great.
This is really exciting.
All right. Maybe this is going to excite a certain group of people, this next one.
Am I in that group?
You are not. Age of Innovation.
A Terra Mystica
Terra Mystica game.
They combined Age of Innovation with Terra Mystica? Wait.
They did not.
Well, didn't we just have a Terra Mystica? Like
We
Nova
had Terra
Mystica?
Nova.
Terra Nova, okay.
So this is it. Terra Nova, and we called it Baby, and it's not really, but it's like a learn to play Terra
For
Mystica.
children.
This is Terra Mystica Masterclass. I was reading, one of the playtesters says this is like Terra Mystica on steroids, and I thought, what? Terra Mystica's already a pretty intense
It's already
game.
juicing. Terra Mystica has been juicing, folks. Okay? What is this? Age of Innovation, a Terra Mystica game, is heavier
Yes.
and more complicated and probably longer
People are going to
than
love
Terra
it.
Mystica.
People are going to love it. 7 double-layer planning displays, 12 faction, 17 palace abilities. Honestly, when I look at that picture, though, it looks exactly like Terra Mystica. So, but we'll see. I'm probably gonna give it a whirl. Terra Nova,
A 1, you said?
a whirl.
Whirl.
I heard a 1. I'm going to give it a 1. Okay? Before I play it, of course, BGG style.
Our next game was announced last year during the Summer Spectacular at the Dice Tower, and they're finally giving us more details. This is from Simon, the Stranger Things game.
Oh, Simon's putting out a Stranger Things game. I hadn't heard of this.
It was in the Dice Tower announcement. It's Rob Daviau.
You're not being sarcastic.
I'm not being sarcastic.
Oh, okay,
I
I couldn't
forgot.
tell.
You
If
forgot.
I knew,
Okay,
I
well.
forgot. Sorry.
Yeah, Rob Daviau announced this and said that they had the license
This
and they
is
were
so
making a
exciting.
game, and that was pretty much all the details we got.
Oh, okay. I guess I forgot because we hadn't seen this cover, right?
No, it's a good cover,
That looks
though.
It's a
So
great
good.
cover. Yeah,
That looks
I guess
so
I
good.
hadn't. Gosh, I just didn't remember. Yeah.
I love the demo.
So you're
board.
in this game, you're gonna assume the role of the kids in Hawkins, and it's cooperative play. You got to work together to clear stacks of tokens off the board before time runs out. It's gonna
Super thematic.
It's
Stacks.
2 to 4 players, 12 and up, 60 to 120 minutes, $50. We're going to retail.
Going right to retail.
It is not a Kickstarter, and it's coming out May 26th. We're talking a little over a month.
I will probably be in line May 25th for this game. I am so
May
excited.
25th.
I'm going like Black
the only
Friday
person at
style.
Target waiting overnight.
Waiting on you, boss. Waiting on you to open.
I'm so
That would be
excited.
hilarious. You have like
I
a
got my
tent
camping
outside,
chair, yeah.
and people are like, "What What's happening?
1996 Black Friday style. That's what I'm
Is
doing.
there something big released? Is there a new console coming out? Now, Stranger Things, son. Simon.
Y'all laugh. I'll be there. I'm so excited.
Seema just sent us a copy so she doesn't have
What?
to do this.
We have it?
No.
I said, Seaman, send us a
Comma.
copy.
Oh, okay. You got to pause for commas. That's how they work.
Simon, send us a
I
copy.
thought Simon sent us a copy, and I said bye.
All right, this is an exciting theme. Now, a theme that I often get excited about,
Yeah.
to the point where people accuse us of liking it too much, is Marvel games.
What?
That being said, I am not interested in this one. I'm willing to be proven wrong, but this is Marvel Dagger. Dagger stands for generic game. So if you look at the board of this, we don't have a picture of the board of it, but you can go online and look at it. This looks very much like another pandemic style game.
It looks like Pandemic, yeah.
Also, it's going to cost $90. Now, I think that art's actually pretty cool on the front. I like the art. The
like the
name
minimalist.
does nothing for me.
Yeah, I think the artwork is very, very good. Actually, we recently had looked at the artwork for that other Age of Heroes, I believe it is, and it looks great. In the imagery that they had released before the game came out, I've seen the game in person now, and I'm not as big a fan of it. I thought it was a little iffy. This looks fantastic.
I like
This
it.
looks better than I thought Age of Heroes looked.
Did you think the board looks good?
The board looks like Pandemic again, and this is gonna be.
But here's the thing: it's designed by Dane Beltrami.
I don't know who that is.
He's one of the co-designers of TI4. The playtime here is 180 minutes.
What? This did not look like a 3-hour game.
I am worried about this one.
Is it a new? Is this a new game system, or
It's a
is it?
new
It's coming
game,
from. Oh, I know
yeah.
it's a new game, but like, is it implementing
It gave me Eldritch Horror.
Eldritch Horror? I guess that's my question. Is it kind of one of these?
okay, that makes sense,
games we
'cause
already have.
Right, if it looks like a...
It could be. It had a
But that is,
world.
That could be interesting.
Coming from Fantasy Flight, I disagree. This is one of the Marvel ones that I know. It's a big day for me, right? Stranger Things got me excited. I'm being very generous right now.
Ooh, a Stranger Things Eldritch Horror style
Oh
game would be
my
amazing.
gosh. No.
Okay, all
No,
right.
actually, because I like
It would
this
only be
art
like
style.
the U.S. and Russia. That's the rest of the map's not there.
No, come on, you can make a smaller map, you weirdo.
No, I think I like this. It's a little different art style. It just feels different than other superhero ones.
I like it, yeah. I like the look.
Right, and again, Fantasy Flight, they've done some good stuff. I mean, I don't know. I do feel like they're hit or miss a lot.
Okay, I'm coming around in it a little bit more now. I'm still
must
worried
become-
about the 3-hour playtime, though.
3 hours is a lot. To be fair, Fantasy Flight, that's not uncommon for them.
Old Fantasy Flight.
I'm a little more worried. To be fair, I would be a little more worried, and again, I'm kind of coming around on it now too, if it said 1 hour. Because the ones we've had from Fantasy Flight that say an hour, like that Eldritch Horror whatever one, which was 45 minutes to an hour, was not very good. Usually when they try to take their formula and condense it, all the flavor goes skidding right out the window.
Okay.
You know,
And so if it's saying 3 hours and it is going to be that 3
Yeah.
hours, it's going to feel it and
if
it's
it's
going to
good
be good.
at 3,
Yeah.
thematic, involving at 3, then maybe that's the way to go. When is this coming out? Do we know?
Let's see. They announced it. They teased it during the in-flight report at
Might be a
Gen
Gen Con.
I like how it says they teased it during the annual in-flight report at Gen Con 2022. Was there an
they?
in-flight report at 2022?
It's again online only. They weren't there, right?
Online only. It was like a little video series thing they did.
It doesn't
was so
say. It just says
barely-
pre-orders are available on the Fantasy Flight web store, so I guess we can look it up.
It might be a Gen Con thing.
Yeah, I wouldn't be
I'm
surprised.
going to be at Gen Con, outside Gen Con the day before.
Yeah, this is a known game system like Eldritch Horror or something like that with the Marvel on top of it. I like the look of this as like, if you're going to do superheroes, I want it to look like this. Then yeah, this is definitely one that I would get in line to play. Not the day before, like day of release, not a day early. I wouldn't camp out. But I'd
Okay.
play it.
Good news for people who like Subterra. So I don't know if you've been following this. This is the second game that we're talking about that's been rescued. The game originally that we Through the Desert we were talking about, Steeped Games had it, and Steeped Games is basically going out of business. So All Play rescued that one. Subterra's company Inside the Box is shutting down, making a lot of people unhappy because I believe the last couple Kickstarters are not doing that well.
Did they officially announce they're shutting down?
Yes, because now the games have been picked up by Magnate Publisher.
Don't know.
Subterra and Alba.
Just the first one, Subterra? What about Subterra 2?
Yes, they did announce they're going out of business. With heavy heart that I have to inform you, Inside Box is going out of business. So all of our assets have been sold off. They've been purchased by Meijer Games. Inside the Box will be liquidated. They're going to fulfill outstanding... Oh, people asked if they're going to fulfill outstanding things, and they'll said there's going to be more news announced soon, which means probably not looking good. However, so Meijer Games has all the stuff for this.
What a mess.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it does sound like it's going to... You're going to be able to get this stuff eventually, so that's good.
Yeah, it was very messy. They had, I guess, a lot of problems. I don't know what happened there. I guess I'm not getting that Subterra 2 fancy edition.
Oh, you might. We'll see.
The Kickstarter one. Yeah.
So Meijer Games released his report that he puts out every year. He says once he's done with taxes, he puts out a report. He's very, very transparent about a lot of things in the company. And his revenue this year went down. In 2021, he made 24.7. This year, he made only 20.7. So he's basically going out of business, is what I'm reading
That's
from
what
that.
I heard.
Well, when you say 20.7,
that's revenue, not profit.
we're talking millions of dollars.
That is correct.
Billions.
The vast majority of that, as far as we can tell, is from Wingspan, and that's one of the biggest things. Wingspan did not sell as many copies in 22 as in 21. He said, of course, there was higher shipping costs and other problems in 2022.
Sure.
I'm not sitting here looking at this report going, oh no, Stonemeyer's in trouble.
Asia was in 2022, wasn't it?
Yeah, the games that they put out last year, he listed them. Libertalia, which I don't think did as well as he wanted to. It only sold 61,000 copies, which for any other company on Earth would have been like, oh my goodness!
Right.
The Wingspan Jigsaw Puzzles, which I did not, I forgot that. Viticulture World, and I don't know how well that one did. Between Two Cities Essential Edition, which until I read this report, I did not know that existed. Did you not exist?
No.
All right. Smitten, but that was a game he gave out for free, basically, to anyone who was like a fan.
Oh, I don't know that
I've
one
heard
either.
about
The
that.
Wingspan Nesting Box,
That's what I was thinking of.
Wingspan Asia, rubber playmats for Red Rising and Tapestry, and promos. So there was not, honestly, there was not a big game release for him last year. Maybe Libertalia, but...
I think he was hoping that would be it. But this year, 2023, is going to be Scythe, right?
Or the sequel to Scythe.
The big sequel, right? I mean, not Scythe,
yeah,
So
yeah. That's going to sell like hotcakes.
That's coming out this year, though, right? It's not kickstarting this year. It's going to
He no
retail.
longer kickstarts, right?
That's okay. That's what I thought.
He does not.
So,
in fact, he puts that in his report every year. He's like, number of games we kickstarted, 0. I'm like, we get it.
Yeah. So I think this will be a big year. I think maybe it was hoping Libertalia would do better, didn't, but
again,
thinking on this.
20 million is not anything to scoff at, especially he has such a small. He has such a small company. He has 4 full-time employees, 2 part-time employees, and 4 contractors. That's smaller than us.
That's smaller than us.
And we don't get 20 million a year.
Yeah.
Do you think he's rich?
I don't know.
I mean, again, that's not fair to say though, because we don't know the cost.
Yeah, the cost of everything, right?
That kind of stuff.
Yeah, because he said revenue, he didn't say profit.
I mean, you really can't walk away from that thinking he's sitting on.
No, and I like that.
Whenever I've seen his videos, you can see behind him, the man is doing all right.
What are you talking
that
about?
blank
He's sitting
wall.
in front of a wall.
Those
All
Yeah,
curtains
that
are
wall
legit.
is a nice wall. I don't have walls, okay?
All right, let's talk about people real quick. I don't normally, in fact, I refuse to announce normally when companies hire new people. I don't think hiring someone is necessarily a press release, unless it's the CEO, then that's interesting. So Meredith Placco is the new CEO of Steve Jackson Games. Meredith is the co-founder or
co-founder
of Turbo Dork. I asked her about it, and she said her fiance is going to be running Turbo Dork, and she'll be running Steve Jackson Games. Phil Breed was running it, and I read his blog about it, and he's just kind of exhausted. He's not leaving Steve Jackson, he's just kind of focusing, he's taking a lesser role there working on some of the stuff. And she'll be running Steve Jackson Games with everything that's involved. That is not a small company, for sure.
Changing her name to Steve Jackson, or?
No, you don't have to change your name to Steve Jackson to run the games.
Okay.
That's
All right.
interesting.
A couple pieces of sad news to leave us all on a sour note. Herb Levy passed away. You may not have heard of him if you watch this show, but if you have, he was one of the earlier game reviewers. He did the Gamer Alliance report. It was a written report that he sent out, and it says it was the longest continuously published English language game review newsletter. He was and that started in 1986. I was 10 at the time. I've met him briefly on a few occasions. I interviewed him once. Very nice guy. Love to talk about games. And so, well, sympathies to his family. And then Claus Toiber. Unless you're under a rock in the board game world, I'm sure you've heard. Claus Toiber, the designer of Catan, died at age 70 following a brief and severe illness. His family has asked for privacy, so we don't know much more than that. But, of course, Claus Toiber, best known for designing Catan. We're going to talk more about this later on in the show, but wanted to bring it up here in the news. So, there you go, folks. That is the news. Let's keep going.